Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. I did it. I did it again. I started something. You knew I was going to. I mean, it was gonna happen. It's not even Sunday, and I started something. Yeah, I just wanted something bright. I wanted something bold and pretty and happy, and like I don't have enough things going on the needles at the moment. Yeah, it doesn't stop me. No, it doesn't. So I came in here and I was wondering, what do I want to work on? I've got all this color palette all around me, just beautiful colors, different weights of yarn, different feelings from yarn. I've got animal fibers, I've got man-made fibers, I've got, the whole gambit in between. There you go. It's like, what do I want to work on? Who do I want to work on something for, right? That makes a difference in what yarn you pick up. And I wasn't feeling my projects. I just wasn't. So I had to start something new. I did. So I picked this yarn. Yeah, you can see it over here. This stuff here. Some of you have commented on it. Whoa, there's another one. There's the other one. Some of you have commented on that. I was like, what is that? That is a discontinued color from Hobby Lobby. Look how pretty that is. This is the Soft and Sleek. Now, Soft and Sleek, I believe, is still available, just not this colorway. This one is Neon Stripes, very appropriately named. And I ended up getting 4 of these. And I am not the only one who coveted these. Okay, I got 4. I didn't do any more. I know Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches, she also absolutely loved this color and commented, and a lot of people sent her extras. So that worked out really well for her. She had a whole bunch to make anything she wants to. And I think she's still coveting this, right? Because it's such a gorgeous color and it's out. So this is the Sleek and Soft. And I've not used the Sleek and Soft very much. And my granddaughter, the oldest one, every time she comes over, she's like, Nana, can you do something for me with this? Yes, I can. I can do something before she gets too big where 4 skeins is not enough, right? This right here is, I'm going to read the important specs on it. Yeah, if you've been to Hobby Lobby and you know sleek and Soft and Sleek low pill fiber, you already know. I don't know these things. I don't have this one memorized. So this is 4 ounces, 186 yards, and it says it's a number 4 medium, but it's a plump number 4 medium. It's plump, right? It's not bulky, but it's plump. And what does it say? It says using size 8 knitting needles, you should get about 18 stitches for your 4 inches. And then using a size J crochet hook, you should get 12 single crochets for your 4 inches. And you can, this is low pill, you can machine wash this, you can dry this. Don't iron it, don't bleach it. And there's that P symbol, whatever that means for dry cleaning. No clue. Anyway, that's the stuff. And isn't it pretty? So I was looking at my go-to standards for very simple, easy, top-down, semi-mindless sweaters. One is flax. Tin Can Knits flax is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So on that one, they've got flax DK. And if you look at it a bunch, you could do it in fingering weight too. You could. It'll just be smaller, right? And they've got the sizes from baby, I think maybe even 0 to 6 months, all the way up to multi-X. So you've got all the gambit in that. And I've made the flax multiple times. Love that one. Another one that I really, really love to make is, it's called Brick, and it's by Claire Garland. And it is also a top down, but it has a crew neck right here. Oh, my collar slipped up. But it has more of that crew neck that goes right along this line right here, as opposed to more the straight across the shoulders where flax does. So it has more tailored look. Okay, and I wanted that. So I wanted to go with the flax. Flax is an adult, it's an adult sweater. It's a feminine sweater, or okay, so it's on a woman. It's not necessarily a feminine sweater, and I will show you that I did start this. Let me put up the picture. I have pictures. Take off my, ooh, I feel so fancy. Look at that. I didn't break it. It's my keyboard. I didn't break it. Yeah, that's my fancy thing. I never knew I'd want a keyboard for my iPad, but I love it. I really do. So this is Brick. And it's just a gorgeous, very, come back. You can see that just the crew neck, right? Very simple. Hi, there I am. Very simple, very easy, you know, gentle done right here. That's what I wanted, more of a tailored look, if you want to call it that. So there you have it. And if I wanted to do something fancy down the sleeves like what Flax has, Flax is just garter stitch right down the sleeves. You can do garter stitch, you can add lace, you can do cables, you can do whatever you want to spruce this up. That's why these two are one of my favorite patterns, because they're blank templates and I love that. So I decided I want to do this. Now, I read the instructions. Okay, I read this much of it. I've made it before, right? I gauge, whatever. So you can do a size XL to a 3X. Chest approximately 29 inches all the way up to 53. Well, I've got 4 skeins of this yarn. I don't have enough to make a big one, and I want to make it for my 9-year-old granddaughter. So I was looking at, all right, I cast on, I don't know what I was thinking, and I used size 8 needles. Now this calls for worsted weight, size 7 for the ribbing stuff, and size 9 for the rest using the worsted weight yarn. Well, I decided I was going to use size 8s with this because that's what the ball band was saying, and I would get 18 stitches to the inch. You know, I didn't gauge. You know, I did not gauge. And this says I want 18 stitches to the inch. So I'm like, I'm going to use the size 8s there, and I don't have to gauge. Well, I was a bit, oh, how much yardage does it say that it takes? That I don't remember. Approximately 680 yards for the smallest size. And I've got 3 of these or 4 of these balls. I'd be cutting it close, but I could do it. All right, so I was going to go with the smallest size and say it'll work. We know where we're going with this, right? We know I got to get the ball winder out. We know that's where this is going. So I started off with size 8s, and I like it. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. This is the top. Yeah, I started out with that pink right there. It is really pretty. I like the way the colors are just stacking on each other with the neon there, and I got the stitches packed on. What I don't like, it's too tight on the size 8s. It doesn't necessarily look like it is, but it's just too stiff for me, and it's difficult to get the needles around and everything. It's just too small of a needle for this yarn. It's a plump worsted. Like I said, not bulky, but it's a plump worsted. And I guess that'd be like an Aran. Yeah, plump worsted Aran. So it's just a little bit too tight for me. And here's the other thing. Remember, I was supposed to be making this for my 9-year-old granddaughter. And this is right here, and that's the neck, and it's going to be like that. So that's going to be big. Right? It's going to be a lot bigger. I mean, it won't fit me at that with that size, but then I measured my gauge. I'm getting 15.5, maybe 16 inches, because it's not like I did a great gauge, right? Per 4 inches. This says I'm supposed to be getting 18. This is going to be huge. This might fit me if I were to finish it. I'm not joking. It might, but I only have the 4 skeins of yarn. I don't have enough to make this. So I have to pull this out because it's too big. And I don't like the tightness of this. I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to do it on size 9s. And you're like, but wait a minute. Wait. I know math. I'm smart. Okay, sometimes I know math. Sometimes it confuses me, whatever. But I know math. I'm smart. If you're getting, right now using size 8s, smaller needle, and you're getting 15 to 16 stitches per inch, got it. If you go to a bigger needle, you're going to get probably 14 to 15 stitches per the 4 inches. Yeah. So you're going to be farther off gauge, not closer, farther off. I know, I'm going to compensate for that. So what I'm going to do, since I've made multiple of these types of sweaters before, and it gives, this is a free pattern, it gives the nice stuff on what you're casting on for, you're starting with 1 stitch right here for the front and everything, and you'll continue to add stitches, and that's going to give you kind of like that, almost a V, and then you pick up, or you not pick up, but then you cast on stitches here. So then you attach this part to this part, and then you go in the round. So you're going to start going back and forth. See, it will go in the round. I was close to that point, but I'm going back and forth right now. So yeah, I just had the 1 little stitch right here, and now I've got a larger triangle. Got it. And I've got my beautiful raglans right here. And then here is between here and here was the arm. All right, you know, obviously I had quite a few more rows. And from here to here, where's my ball? Yeah. From there to there was the back. Okay. And it's nice. What I'm doing is I looked at the sizing that they had, and it's like, okay, so the extra small had 30 stitches for the back. And if I wanted to go up a size, 32, then 34, and then it was a bigger jump, 38. Okay, 40, 42. Got it. So they're just going up in increments like that. I'm going to go ahead and make my back. I decided to take 8 stitches off. So we'll see, 22 stitches for the back, right? So what I did is I followed the math that they had going already, and I just went down what I would consider 2 more sizes. What's that going to make? I don't know, because I'm going to use size 9 needles and I'm not going to gauge. But the benefit that I do have on this is if it does not fit my 9-year-old granddaughter, it is neons. It's black and neons. So we have 6 grandkids, okay, of different sizes from 9 years old to newborn. So we have that, and it's 3 girls and 3 boys. So if it doesn't fit the older 2 daughters, we do have a 2-year-old granddaughter who it would fit one day. And then the cool thing about this is with it being all the neon brights, I don't know if a little boy would want to wear that. Yes, you got pink and purple in there, but you got the neon green and the yellow and the blue. And, you know, I think when it's all done, it would be a bright neon 80s version of gorgeousness. And then, oh, you want to know that else I'm thinking of? I am. So I have a decent amount of big twist value yarn. I mean, I don't have the most, but I don't have the least. But I do have the slime green, which would match something like that green there, I think. I should have enough of that. And I also have the hot pink, which would be similar to this pink. I don't know if it's the exact pink. I do know it's not as plump as this yarn, right? You know, this is a fat worsted weight yarn. It's a little thinner of a worsted weight yarn. But I could do all the ribbing with big twist solids. That's what I'm going with. And if I wasn't crazy about the big twist solids, if they seem like they're just a little too thin for me compared to this, because this is some plump worsted Aran weight probably. And I also have Hirschner's neon lights. And I believe I've got that in the orange because, hello, I love the orange. I'm pretty sure I've got it in that highlighter yellow. Might not be what it's called, but you know the color. You know, so I mean, I have options to do the ribbing and just really spruce this up as a massive 80s top. And I love that. I absolutely, this makes me happy. And that's what I was looking for is what is the project currently right now that lights me on fire? And I've been working on a bunch of different things, but nothing has been like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home from work and pick up that project and just sit there until midnight, right? I don't stay up till midnight. Are you kidding me? I got work in the morning. No, I got a bedtime. But anyway, you get the point. You know, and that's what I was looking for, and I didn't have that. Or I do have that, but it's buried under a pile and I forgot about it. I mean, that's truth, right? We've seen me on the Tackle It series. I bury things, right? I'm like, oh, I had this? I didn't even know I had that yarn, right? So I do that. And it's okay because what that does is it allows me to do little cleanups and treasure hunts in my room. And I get excited about finding things. And I'm like, oh, I want to work on this. This is cool. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. But the neon kind of tickled my fancy, and I loved the way that this is working. And I do like this, but this is getting pulled out. I mean, that's too big. If I had like half a dozen of these skeins of yarn, that would be something different, then I could continue, but it still wouldn't be for the intended recipient. I really do want this for my granddaughter, not for me, not for her mommy or, you know, her aunt, right? I would like it for her. So I'm going to pull that out and start over. You know, if I'm feeling, once I pull this out, if I'm feeling like starting over, I'll start over. I love the way that it looks, but I didn't like working with it because the needles were too small and I was kind of fighting with them for this. There was another yarn that I had worked with like that. And it's unusual for me to want to go up to size 9s, right? You know, I'm like, 8s are good. Eights are good. I'm good with 8s. But there's another one. I'm going to stand up for a moment. There we go. Grab this. All right. Whoa. This is the Big Twist Reverb. And, well, everything's out as far as Joann's concerned, but this is one of them that they had for a little while, and I got it in multiple colors. And you may have seen me wear my tiger stripe one, right? The oranges and the black stripe. That's what it was the Reverb. Those black strips, it just like does like a little animal stripe strip. And this one said to use size 7 to 8 needles. I tried using 7s and 8s. I did not like it at all. I've made 3 sweaters with this yarn. I have 1. I gave the other 2 away. But I've made 3 with this yarn, different colors, because let's face it, I have an addiction. I have a problem. And when it went on sale, I got a sweater's quantity of all the colors that I thought I would like. Well, I've used 3 of them already. I mean, come on. And one of the hats that I wear is also that orange tiger stripe thing. And I love that color. So yeah, I have these. And this was another one, it's a roving style, that to me, I just did not like it on the needle size that is recommended. All right, that's fine. And I made sweaters with size 9 needles. And you know what the cool thing about that is? It went a lot faster. It went, I know the smart people amongst this audience knows if you use bigger yarn and bigger needles, it goes faster. Whatever. I'm still liking my smaller stuff, but this I made an exception for. Now this is just a worsted weight. Okay, so this isn't the, like super plump or anything, but this is that roving style, and I just didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way it felt. And because it was the roving style, and kind of like a little bit of fuzz kind of a thing to it, I was splitting the yarn on the smaller needles. Did not like it at all. Used size 9s. And that's what I think I'm going to need on this is the size 9 needles, which again, I find absolutely crazy. I'm voluntarily going to use size 9 knitting needles. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick. You don't need to adjust your channel. I will use size 9s. It's a rarity. I get it. So I think that once I pull this out, well, for one, if I want to start it again, we know how that goes, and pick it up with size 9s, I'll be happier with it. It will change the pattern. We know that. It will definitely change the pattern because right now we've got, I mean, you can see the pink stacked on itself here and stuff. And as your rows get bigger, it's going to change how that yarn is stacking. So if I cast on a significantly less amount, it's going to change right off on how that stacks up on each other. And then for this, I was pretty close to where I would have to cast on those neck stitches and join that and everything. And this would be that beautiful, I mean, this is gorgeous. If I had enough of this, I might be considered to make a sweater for myself with it. That is beautiful. But it's okay. I have other yarns. I have lots of beautiful yarns. So don't feel sorry for me. We're good. But, casting on right there, look how gorgeous that is. And I was just fighting with it. So I'm looking forward to pulling this out and maybe restarting and seeing how that works. I think it's going to be stunning. And I think the colors are going to stack different. That's just how that's going to be. If I've got a significantly less amount of stitches, they're definitely going to stack different. Kind of like my husband's sweater when I made his with that gorgeous hand-dyed yarn from Arcane Fiberworks. I know. There you have it. Oh, yeah, since I said the word Arcane Fiberworks, if you have been a fan of Arcane Fiberworks and you've seen me open Arcane Fiberworks and you've seen me flash my collection of Arcane Fiberworks yarn before, yeah, I like the yarn. It's stunning. It really is. Arcane Fiberworks, if you're not familiar, that is a company in Canada. Just like Aberdeen Wool, right? Companies in Canada. And I know there's a lot of ups and downs and people but confused and everything with all the tariffs and what have you. And they're a little apprehensive to maybe order from a Canada company because you just don't know what's going on. Well, right now, if you put your stuff in your cart for Arcane Fiberworks, can't attest to Aberdeen Wool, don't know, they don't have a little blurb like that, but Arcane Fiberworks does. And I'm in the United States and I put in, 2 or 3 skeins? I think I put 3 skeins just out of curiosity. I put in 3 skeins and I went to the checkout and he had in big red letters a blurb, U.S. customers, their wool is USMCA. I don't know exactly. That's probably not the right acronym. I don't know what it stands for, but certified, something along that line. No tariffs. And that is on his website, Arcane Fiberworks. So it says currently they don't fall under the tariff guidelines what have you. So if you are interested and that was holding you back from purchasing, go out to his website, put stuff in the cart. You can read that blurb yourself. And if that makes you feel comfortable and you want to buy the yarn, have at it and buy the yarn. I don't get anything for saying this. I just happen to have looked and I saw that. So no, I don't have any affiliated links or anything like that. But yeah, if I think about it, I'll actually put his stuff down below because, I mean, it's gorgeous yarn, right? It's just fun. It's stunning. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. New project, sort of. I know. And I think it would be beautiful to finish this. It would. But I'm fighting with the yarn. And just like on this, I did make, I think, 2 of them in the size 9 needles. And then I decided, wait a minute, I want to make that ribbing a little bit small. I want to do this. And I did start like with 7s and 8s and I ripped it out. I did not like it. And that's where I'm at with this is very surprising for me to want to go up to size 9 needles. That's all I'm getting at. That is crazy. But hey, the yarn wants what it wants. And it's, well, I don't know yet, but I'm sure it'll work up nicer. I'm sure it will feel better. My rings. I'm sure it will feel better as I'm knitting it. Oh, I dropped a ring. I don't know where it went. That's okay. I have a bunch of them. It's fine. This was one of my favorite ones. They're like little metal rings. They're the, I don't, enamel coated little metal rings. I know they're metal because when they fall on my iPad, they stick to it because of the magnetation. Yeah, so they're little metal rings. And I've got them in all the pretty little colors. Yep, they make me happy. Lots. I like my colors. I mean, aren't you that way? Do you like your colors too? I mean, isn't that why we do knitting and crocheting, is to have fun with all the colors and to be able to create? I think this would be easier for me to just rip this thing off. How many more stitch markers do I have over here? Oh, I have 2 more. Okay. It doesn't seem like I lost one, maybe. Yeah, I think I had 2 blue ones, a red one, and a green one. Yeah. So one of the things that you can do, if you're working with lace or something along that line, and you can't necessarily tell easily what the right side and the wrong side is, there are some things that are like that, like the hitchhiker shawl. There are a lot of shawls, especially garter stitch, where you might not realize, hey, what's the right side and the wrong side? And then you look at, well, if you remember, well, my tail, if my tail's on this side, then I'm working on the right side. If my tail's on the other side, all that good stuff. What you do is you have at least 2 markers, right? At least. So a lot of times when you're making something like that, you're going to have a border. Okay, and you'll have so many stitches for your border, and they'll say to mark your border, and sometimes I mark it, sometimes I don't. But on the right side, you put a red marker. Red marker when you're starting is the right. On the end, you put a green marker. There you go. It's always that way. So when you're looking at your knitting and you have that red marker right there, oh, I'm beginning to start my right side row. Right red. Red is on the right side. So that is a nice clue. That is a key that you can use. Red for the right side. And I did learn that, and I am going to continue to do that. And that's why I have that red and green marker from Galena when I took my knitting retreat course, and everything is the red is on the right side. Because on that garter stitch lace, you don't know. At least I don't, right? I can't visualize it as well. But there you have it. There's a nice little tips and tricks if you didn't know that, especially if you're using a garter stitch type pattern, when you know, it says your pattern will say, hey, right side row, do this, every right side row. And some things you can't tell. I've got another shawl, a purple shawl that I showed yesterday on my Tackle It series that is very much like that. I'm like, which one's the right side? I don't get it. So I don't necessarily need a marker like that, but I'm going to have the little safety pin markers and put a red one for it's the right side. So every time I know where I'm at on that right side row, because you can mess yourself up on that. You know, you're like, hey, it's an easy pattern. You know, every right side I do this. I'm like, which one's the right side? I can't tell. And you'll realize that about 5 to 10 rows too late, and then decide if you want to rip it back or not. Yeah, done that. So here we are. I've got it off the needles. Isn't that is so nice. Oh, the other cool thing. So again, don't feel sorry for me that I only have the 4 of these and I won't be able to make one myself. I do have some of the Premier yarns. They're Vivid, which is the bright neon cakes. It's not striped like this, but that's okay. I have that. I do have some of the Hirschner's neon lights to work with. So I do have neon yarns. I do have stuff that I can create something beautiful with. And truthfully, if I wind this up and end up making this for my granddaughter, by the time I'm done with this, I'll have moved on anyway. But if I don't, I have other neons. That's all I'm saying. I got stuff, right? I've got a collection. I've got options. I've got things that I can do. There's fun stuff in this room. We can create things. All it has to do is get into a good mindset. Sometimes that's not easy, right? Get into a good mindset and go, you know, I'm going to create something. I'm going to make something. I'm going to do something beautiful. And you know what else? This is cool too. Because what was this year that I designated? If you remember, this year is the year of failure. And you're like, that's awfully negative. Not really. Not really. It can be. It can be, depending on who's saying it and what they're meaning by it. But for me, the year of the failure is, it means I'm going to try a bunch of things. It means I'm going to go out on a limb, which will invariably mean I'm going to fail on a few things. And that's okay, because I will have tried other stuff. I'll have done different things. So on this, yeah, did I fail? Yeah, it's way too big. But I tried, and I could have got it right. It could have happened. I could have been spot on the gauge and loved the way that it felt and just off to the races, no gauge swatch, no nothing. That could have worked, and a lot of times it does. This time it didn't, and that's okay. It is now all put back, not an issue, ready to go again. And it wasn't actually in there long enough, right? None of it's kinked up. It's not like it was in there for, you know, a few weeks or something and then I changed my mind. So no harm, no foul. Just a little jacked up looking skein of yarn. Got it, right? And that, it still makes me happy. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. That just makes me so happy. And I know Ellie is going to absolutely love this, because she has commented on these skeins of yarn just sitting right here, because that's one of them, just sitting right there for so long. And it's so, in that cube, that is the only thing of color. Everything else is, you know, the hand dyed or subtle or whatever, you know, but that right there has that neon, and it's just that wow. And I'm not saving it. I mean, why not make her something? Why not? What else am I going to do with the yarn? What is it for if we're not going to make things that make people in our lives smile and make people in our lives happy? And it's about time that I started using it and make my granddaughter happy. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.